So the first sign you're dealing with a black seller is if they have personal/romantic relationships outside of their race. The reason why I find it unfortunate is because we include and interact with other race groups that don't truly accept us for being black. I can't think of one race group that has ever took our side and will ever take the side of black people.
I'm assuming I'm gonna sell out. His first thing was people who date outside of their race. In your YouTube feed, you don't get all this black stuff. I'm pretty sure you get cat videos, dog videos, and whatever you watch on your side of YouTube. But I keep pulling you over to my side of YouTube, which seems to be the black side of YouTube, because YouTube evidently is racist, because they keep presenting me with black stuff. So they have stereotyped me.
For some reason, I get really muscular black guys, like the shorts, just like walking out and just staring at the camera and then walking away.
Okay, so that might be a problem with you watching outside of YouTube.
When you hang out with other ethnic groups, you have to be more cautious in case of not hurting their feelings. So that means you can't express yourself at your truest form. And oftentimes, black people don't act in their truest forms when hanging out with other ethnic groups. So if you're not in your truest form when hanging out with other race groups, what's there to say that you are willing to be honest with black people?
That sounds like a him problem.
Yeah, it does. I don't know what the truest form of a black person is. Are black people so different from every other people, every other race?
No, that's a human. And you should feel comfortable around the people that you care about and the people you love.
So if you can't act as your true self around other races, how many people act as their true self around their parents? You have a lot of people that curse like a sailor and do other things.
That's a color thing, though. I think that's
but what I'm saying,
children.
But what I'm saying is that he's saying that black people don't act as their true self because of being around another race. You take black people and you put them in certain settings, i.e. with their parents, are they not acting as their true self?
Right.
The reason why you're dating out of your race group in the first place is because you hate your black skin and black people. Now, I've asked a couple of black men why they are in love with white women. And the main reason why these black men date white women is because they hate black women. Now, they might not hate black women, but there's something about the black woman that displeases them that has them running to white women.
Okay, he just confused the heck out of me. Didn't he just not say that you hate your own people and that you hate black women?
Not hate them.
But you might not hate black. Where does he go with this? I have heard this quite a bit online. Actually, you hear it more from the black men's side. Black men that date outside the race, a lot of men and a lot of women, i.e. black men and black women, will say that you hate yourself. Now, if a black woman dates outside of her race, a lot of times they don't get as much pushback, i.e. the person that's always brought up is Serena Williams. Eve has a white husband, you know what I'm saying? And so, I mean, do the black women that date outside their race, do they hate their blackness? Do they hate being black? But, when black women date outside their race, that's because there's no good black men. Listen, why can't you just date somebody just because you get along with them? So if you date outside your race, do you hate your white skin? Do you hate your white people?
I like my people. I mean,
love the skin that you're in.
Yeah.
Listen.
I don't like all of them. You can't.
Yeah, I don't like all black people either.
Right.
But I will say, I do like men black because I like the way outfits go off my skin.
I know. Stop rubbing it in. I do wear those nice colors. The turquoise, they pop.
I don't do that.
I'm just like,
I'm not one of those black people that wears all these loud
you don't even
colors.
take advantage of your skin.
I don't like looking like a peacock when I go out. Now here's the thing. That's not if some people do look like peacocks, that is okay with them. I just don't like the peacock. I like to, if something goes down, I like to be able to blend in with the crowd. I don't like
black, gray.
If something goes down, I want to be able to just step in the crowd and disappear. I think a lot of black people spend a lot of time thinking about other black people. I really do. I think a lot of black people spend, well, not a lot of black people, but these black people, this small minority of black people, they spend a lot of time. And if they spent more time trying to worry about themselves versus worried about other people, maybe they'd be a little bit further in life.
That's right. They spend a lot of time trying to figure out the puzzle. It can't be figured out because it's not a puzzle.
Now, it is scientifically proven that we prefer to hang out with people similar to us. So, if you are voluntarily deciding to befriend a race of people that have caused us the most destruction, that implies to me that you're selfish. If you as a black person that was dehumanized, berated, and dismantled by a particular race group, would you allow your grandchildren to befriend the race of people that hurt you?
All right, so I think these were two different points. And the reason why he says scientifically it's proven that people are more likely to hang out with people that they're more similar to. Now, that being said, just me being black, I have nothing in common with this guy. Other than the color of my skin. Our thought process and nothing is the same. Here's the thing that I think people miss sometimes is that it's more of an economic thing. And I've heard people start to honestly be more, I guess, genuine to that. It's more of an economic thing. Middle class people tend to hang out with middle class people. You know, upper class people tend to hang out with more upper class people. Mm-hmm. And yes, there's still maybe some colorism in there to a degree, but they just have more things in common. Like the middle class, like, listen, I grew up in the suburbs. I grew up where there's a mixture of black and white people. Look, we all get along. Like, it wasn't much difference between us. Now, there was a difference between our parents because our parents grew up in segregation. And so my parents went to a black high school and a black elementary school, and their parents went to a white, high school and white, so there was segregation. But by the time it came around to us, it was like a little melting pot with us. And the thing is that, I mean, we didn't see much difference in each other. And I think it was just because more of the social economics, how we grew up, in the same money range. Mm-hmm. And so their house wasn't much different from our house. All the white people's house and the black people's house were pretty much the same.
You had the same things.
Yeah.
You went to
everybody's
the same
cars were pretty much the same,
Right.
And our parents worked at the same places. And to be honest with you, my dad actually was the boss of a lot of other people's parents.
That's a big difference, I think. It's easier for all the kids to get along when they see their parents are kind of like they appear to be on kind of like fair playing ground.
Yes, and that's the similarity.
I could see how it could be so different, and you could just feel angry when you see your parents on completely different levels.
If I grew up in a different region and there was all black people and there was white people and there was a divide, then yeah, I would see where some people. So I can't say it's not true in some people's lives.
Right.
In my life, it was more balanced. My thing is that to hold a whole race of people, what do you say?
Accountable?
Yeah, to hold a whole race of people accountable for something that people did years ago.
Right.
I think it's just a little asinine because let's just be honest with you, black people haven't been saints themselves either.
The fact that you can look at white people dead in their eyes, the fact that you can look at Arab dead in their eyes, the fact that you can look at Indian dead in their eyes and accept what they've done to our people is ridiculous.
The fact that you can look white people dead in the eyes now is a sign of social mobility. It's a sign of the times, because 40, 50 years ago, you may not have been able to do that. And the fact that you can look somebody in your eyes shows how far we've come.
Right.
And the thing is that depending on how you choose to live your life, there may be a time where it's reversed, where people are looking you in your eyes because maybe you're their boss. Could you imagine, 60 years ago, a black person being the boss of a white person? It would be very rare for a black person to be managing white people or to own a company that white people work for them at. What the thing I guess people don't see is that this whole colorism thing is that we have come so far now. We still do have a ways to go. Mm-hmm. But in 60 years...
The second type of black sellouts are the extrinsically motivated black people. Now, to be extrinsically motivated is to be driven by external rewards such as money, adulation, and grades.
Okay, now I'm gonna have to go ahead and stop the video here. Getting good grades is not being black. And so that's one of the problems. It's not cool to go to school. It's not cool to get good grades in class. And then it's one of these other things that if you do make some money, you can't make so much money, because if you make too much money and you show that you're making money, then you're selling out on that point too. What can you do to not be a sellout?
Oh,
what can you do to not be a sellout?
I feel like it's like you just get set up for. And this is probably going to sound terrible, and I'm probably not going to go over well, but I almost feel like.
Yeah, I might have to cut that one out.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of do though. I kind of feel like.
No, it ain't. But it ain't. Listen, it's only a small percentage.
It's like putting I don't know.
Like I said before,
roadblocks in front of everything.
No, it's not. It's only a small percentage. Listen, the people who have the most gripes are usually the loudest. The people that you don't hear from are the people who are actually out here working and hustling and grinding, because they don't have time to get up here and to spend time on the internet or on YouTube, complaining about stuff. So I guess not being a sellout is not having any type of material stuff, and he probably that skipped class to make this video.
Maybe he was walking between classes.
In the graveyard.
I mean, maybe he goes to centenary.
I just like watching some of this stuff sometimes because, you know, I need a good chuckle. I do. I need a good chuckle. I like being reminded how much I've sold out. Yeah, because, you know, me being a sellout has just made my life just so much more easier.
I need to check back with him in about 5 years, see what he's doing, who he's with.
Let's just say if his YouTube channel blows up, let's just see how much of a non-sellout that he is if he starts getting some real checks. Remember, don't go out and buy that car. Remember, don't buy that bling bling. Remember, don't buy that house.